What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay Mixon, and you are live in my studio. Today, what I want to do is demonstrate an instrument or set of instruments, if you will. These are called the claves. Now, I have this small set of claves right here, and I have this larger set of claves. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate the proper technique of how to hold the instrument and how to strike the clave to get the perfect note. But before we get started, let me give you a brief history. The claves is an Afro-Cuban instrument which is commonly known throughout Latin America, all the way up to North America, overseas to the Caribbean, and across the world to Africa. You'll hear the claves in various types of music such as calypso, reggae, hip-hop, R&B, salsa, merengue, samba, so forth and so on. This set that I have here, if I'm not mistaken, is made out of African oak. And the other set, if I'm not mistaken, is made out of cedar wood. And they are carved a certain way. And when you hold it the proper way, you get a melodic tone out of it. So let me demonstrate. First, you want to take your weak hand and you want to make a cuff with your weak hand. Then you want to take the first clave. And with this smaller set, it really doesn't matter which one. You want to line it up right down the middle of your hand. 4 fingers down the side, on one side, right down the middle. Your thumb and the fat part of your palm on the other side, right down the middle. Then you take the other clave and you hold that one similar to a drumstick with your thumb on the base of it. And what you want to do is search for the sweet spot. For me, the sweet spot is right there at the tip of this clave. And usually what I do when I'm using this on a track, I'll play a pattern similar to this. Now notice you get that plinking type of sound when you strike the clave the right way. If you hold it incorrectly, like say for instance, if you just hold it any kind of way, you don't get that same sound out of it. You have to hold it the proper way to get that plinking sound. So that's the first set. Now moving over to the larger set of claves. If you notice, these are 2 different sizes compared to the first set, which they're both kind of like identical. You have this large clave, which has this groove cut right down the middle of it. And if I turn it towards you, it has a hole top and bottom right in the groove. And then you have a hole right at the top of it that's cut all the way through, all the way to the bottom or top, whichever way you want to look at it. And the reason why it's made that way is because it gives you kind of a vacuum effect to give you a clucking sound. Now, the proper way to hold this one, and this is the one you want to put in your weak hand. Once again, you want to make that cuff with your weak hand, and you want to set that groove right in the palm of your hand, right down the middle. 4 fingers lined up down the side, right in the middle, the thumb and the fat part of your palm on the other side, lined up down the middle. And then at the bottom of your hand, if you notice, you want to leave just a little bit of space between that pinky finger and that groove. And that's how you get that vacuum that goes through the clave to give you that clucking sound. And the other clave, the smaller one, you want to hold once again like a drumstick. This one is kind of already made like a drumstick with your finger right on the base of it. And I'll tell you automatically that the sweet spot on this one is right there in the middle. And unlike the other one where you hit the 2 tips, with this one, the second clave, the smaller one, you kind of want to strike the big clave with the middle of this one as well. And let me play a pattern for you. So those are the Claves 101. And oh, once again, if you hold it incorrectly, notice you don't get that same pristine sound as when you hold it the correct way, if you hold it incorrectly. Now, I know people are saying, you know, oh, they're just pieces of wood, but there is a technique on how to play them, and they do bring the beat out. I'll demonstrate a beat for you in just a moment. And another question or theory that I'd like to address. Some people would say, well, if you have samplers, drum machines, a DAW, so forth and so on, don't you have that sound already sampled? Well, yes, I do. On a couple of my drum machines, I have the Claves sampled. However, if anything were to ever happen to the electronic part of my studio, I'll always have these instruments to resample or to play live. On top of that, I also like to play the instrument live because it gives a natural effect to my track. And it's good exercise and good practice. So next, what I want to do is demonstrate how the clave goes to a track. I'll play back a bit of a track and let you hear where the clave is at on it. I own the rights to this, by the way. If you hear that. And I'll play a little bit. So that's the clave to a track. Now what I'm going to do is solo the track so you can hear how that came out or came about. Hold on here. Now, it's a very subtle sound. And once again, it complements your drums and accents the percussion of the track. So that's the Claves 101. Thank you for stopping by my studio.